We are live. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. We're live. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. She just came from
Happy
work.
Friday. Sister Jazz. This is sad. Yes.
She came from
I'm
work,
tired
y'all.
and I'm hungry. I got the grum belly, so I'm about to go eat. I can't holler. I can't talk to y'all right now because I'm starving. What my
Uh,
hair look like? I
oh
need
my
to
goodness.
dye it or something.
Take it out your ponytail.
Mm.
Cause let me tell you something. You know what's so special? First of all, happy October to y'all folks. But what's really special is this young lady next to me is about to have a birthday in 16 days. 16 days. Matter of fact, let me go get my
Yes.
thing. Because it's Club Win. We celebrating, y'all. Let me go get my thing. And let me warm my green.
What you just gonna leave your life?
Yeah, you right there. I'll be right back.
She like I'm supposed to talk. Didn't I just get through saying that I'm starving and I'm tired? Don't I look tired? I worked at this was my first day working for that agency that I signed up for. CC Careers, Child Care Careers. And they sent me to this YMCA after school program. It was on the other side of town, on the west side. Uh and it was school age kids. And at first I was like, I didn't know how to feel about that. I was a little scared, a little like not scared, but cause I just didn't know what to expect. Anytime you go into a place where you really don't know what to expect, you might feel a little some kind of way. So, but the kids, what happened was, the YMCA program ended up being inside the school, and the school was the program. The school is uh, what age is these kids? Like two, K through 2 or K through 3. And so I was like, oh shoot, this is cool. I could work at that school. And they was just the people was telling me that they got a position. They got some positions open for assistant teachers. I'm like, oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice to know. I might have to they said and any of these jobs that offer any of these jobs that they send us to, if they offer us a job, we can take the job. We just got to tell them, and they have to. I guess the people have to they would have to pay them a certain amount of money. Ain't that something? They have to buy us. I'm a
That's
hot
wild.
commodity.
That's wild, not biased.
Yeah, those they gotta buy our contract is what they gotta do. They gotta buy our contract. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, but anyway, oh, that smells so
Right?
good.
Right?
Mm.
You telling people about your experience?
I did. I told them about my job, my first job. My first job working with I worked with kids before in church, like in the youth program, but I ain't this is my first time working in a school. And I worked in daycare centers for when I had to get my hours for my degree. So, but this is my first time working in a school, and it wasn't bad at all. I like it. I wouldn't. I go back there if they was send me back. It's far. It was far. But I found out how to get there on the street, and I didn't have to. I don't have to. I took the freeway halfway there. I got off at the wrong exit. No, I stayed. I ended up going around on 71
Uh-huh.
instead of staying on 480. It wanted me to stay on 480, but I ended up getting going around, so I had to get off at Ingo and go up Broad.
Yeah, because
Oh,
sometimes dog on Google be having you out the way, and I be like, why are we taking this long way around
uh,
when it's a straight shot going this way? Google, get together, okay? Get your algorithm together. Pay attention to what's happening in these streets, so
Yeah, it
you
didn't
send
tell
us on the
me.
right
It
route.
just didn't tell me to go. It didn't tell me to go around. Ooh, that looks so good.
This is what she talking about, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I went and got some. That's greens, cabbage, and brisket soup from.
Wasn't that bad? You got another biscuit?
No, another muffin. It's a cornbread muffin.
Yeah.
Cornbread muffin.
Y'all, but I'm gonna let y'all holler at her because y'all
She
see I'm
hungry.
tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I mean, I was driving earlier, and then I had to go to that school for like 3 hours, and I'm hungry,
It's dinner time.
and I got to do homework, and I got to do watch TV because it is a new drama on.
Oh, on your Asian channel.
Yes, honey. Yes, it's so many of them. I'm so backed up.
That's a wild statement to make.
I'm so backed up on my shows.
Thank you
Okay,
for finishing that statement.
let me put it that way. I'm so backed up on my shows. Okay, bye, y'all. I gotta
You
go.
you gave him the update
On what?
about your job and everything.
What job?
The
Oh,
job you
one
did
I just
today
went to. Yeah. Yeah.
and all that you're
And
doing.
I got an interview on Monday, y'all.
She got major wins out here. Major
I got another
wins.
interview on Monday.
Major wins.
So
Yes.
we're gonna see what that holds.
Yes, we got this.
Yeah.
And that's what behavioral health. Behavioral
Yeah,
health.
that's behavioral health, y'all. Behavioral health. I'm like, but I'm gonna go back onto the school systems website and put in some applications and for Cleveland Public Schools on the west side.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. You got this. And there's a great shortage. So if y'all
Yeah.
thinking about getting to the education system, now's the time. They're quicker to hire when it's a shortage. Quicker to hire. Take advantage. Oh, I'm
Okay,
so
bye.
tired.
I got
So tired.
I'm hungry. You know, when you're hungry like that, it just makes you
Yeah.
drained. Ugh. I had to take my shoes off. I'm like, forget it. Let's just wear bare feet.
Bye, Mom. Thank you for coming on Club Win, sharing your wins.
You're welcome, girl.
Today's going to be a shorter session, y'all. But I'm getting my eats on. My dinner. My dinner. So, let me catch y'all up. Because it's been a couple of weeks. So, first of all, happy Friday. It's October 3rd. What has been happening in my world since the last time I talked to y'all? First of all, if y'all tuned into my last live a couple of weeks ago, I went on my rant because I was over it. I was fed up with how humans were behaving and how humans were treating other humans, especially in the fields that I have and currently work in healthcare and in public health, and then just in customer service, period. So if you want to check that out, you hear my stands on it and my recommendations for you jokers out there, them jokers that is causing harm to people. Last week was all about releasing what does not belong to you. Okay. So that was last week's conversation. So all that ties in people and their behavior, their mindsets, how they show up, their energy, how they interact with one another, the unhealthy and toxic environments we are in, both at work and relationships. But last week was all about releasing what does not belong to you. So this week I didn't have a theme, but I just wanted to kind of build on last week's on the positive side of things, where this past 2 weeks, I don't even think it was last week, I think it was 2 weeks ago, But the past 2 weeks, what I have been navigating through, and on the other side of it this week, especially today, it just was like a lighter, brighter day. I slept for the most part throughout the night. I be having broken sleep. Sometimes it really happens when my stress is heightened. So when my stress is lower, I'm able to have better rest, better quality sleep, and my stress levels are lower when I'm getting good sleep, and my sleep is better when my stress levels are lower. Okay, so that's all interconnected there. So, but nonetheless, when I talk to y'all, I was like annoyed to the umpteenth power just with humans that are mean and rude and nasty. But over the past couple of weeks, what I've been noticing is a shift. It's a shift. And the shift is in how I continue to show up as me, even in the spaces where I was encountering um, toxic energy, negative energy, condescending energy, um, unhelpful criticism, because there is a thing of healthy criticism, or feedback is a better word to use than criticism. So I continue to show up as me every day, and me just not like my appearance, but me from the inside out. I continue to show up as Michelle every day, even when it was tough. And what Michelle looks like every day is I have a uplifting spirit. I'm someone who leads with love, leads with empathy, with encouragement, with motivation. I can see the glass half full. I can find the silver lining, and mostly in most situations, um, I can always find a way, for the most part, to um, have a sunny side up type of outlook. It's getting a little darker outside. The sun is going down, but I continued to show up as me, even though I was navigating some unhealthy conversations, toxic workplace environment, um, a little rocky and tumultuous dynamics in the workplace. And so, what I found is, as I continued to show up as me, if you ever experienced this, you can relate, but showing up as myself in those kind of environments, what it did was I felt the shift in the environment. So what I seen firsthand is that people started to adjust how they interacted with me, and at times with one another, because of how I showed up. I believe that that plays a big part in it. When you come into a negative, toxic situation, you can either stand firm in who you are and your beliefs, and help to improve that situation just by how you show up, how you interact, how you communicate with one another, with your folks and on your team, what kind of energy you give off, how you choose to respond instead of reacting. So what I notice is, just by me showing up, speaking out against what I was seeing, but doing it in a productive way, in a healthy way. Nothing that was accusatory, but something where I pointed out what I was seeing, how harmful it was to our fellow colleagues, how harmful it was to the individuals that we're there to serve, and how that kind of behavior actually keep us from achieving the goals and priorities of our division, of our department, and the overall city that we work for as our employer. And so with that, and coming up with, in addition to speaking out against it, coming up with some potential ideas to shift the behavior in a direction that aligns with where we should be, given the work that we do in our division. And so that was it. It was received um in a way where we could be productive and move some things forward. And so that is a major win. That's a major win to highlight, because I have experienced the opposite where I've went into spaces that were toxic in the workplace, um, and or toxic dynamics, unhealthy, tumultuous, dysfunctional dynamics. And you can get a lot of pushback from folks who aren't ready to shift gears. So it was encouraging to see the response, um, where I spoke truth to it last week after the live. And then over the course of the week, it was some apprehension. It was a little discomfort in the environment, in the atmosphere. And it's like, oh, I'm not sure if I made the right decision, you know. But as the days went on in this week, I was able to see, like, okay, okay. So things seem to be um, moving along. Time will tell what it actually looks like, and how things unfold. But my hope is that this team that I'm a part of, um, we can move in a healthier direction and do great work together. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. Any environment that I'm going in, whether it's in a partnership, or it's in a relationship, or it's in a collaboration of some sort, I want to make sure that it's a healthy dynamic. So I wanted to close that out based off last week to give y'all an update on where things are this week, or not last week. I keep saying last week, 2 weeks ago, where things are 2 weeks later, and just sharing with y'all where things are and how things are going. So, all in all, it's a win because I spoke truth, to what I was seeing, and it's best to speak out when you're seeing it. Sometimes it's uncomfortable because you don't know how people are going to receive it, but it's better to speak out instead of acting like it doesn't exist. Hello, acting like it doesn't exist, and then that behavior perpetuates, and it continues to cause harm and discomfort, and it's just unproductive. What I tell folks, this team and my last team and previous teams, we spend the majority of our days with people that we work with. If you're working a full-time shift, you spend the majority of your hours in a day, the majority of your time that you have when you are awake, at work with people. If you're working a traditional 8-hour shift in person, if you're remote, that's different. So we talked about that last week. But if you're in person, you spend the majority of your day with people. And who wants to be in a toxic environment? I do not. I refuse. I'm over that. I've done that before, and in the past, both in relationships and in friendships and in work collaborations and partnerships. And I refuse to be in that type of situation anymore. And my confidence is back. It's back. So I'm speaking out, but I'm just trying to speak out in love in a way that it will land on someone in their heart, so that way things can shift in a healthier direction. And if it don't shift, then I have the freedom and the power to say, okay, this is or is not the place for me. And you have that power to do that as well. So if you are in a talk, to put a nice bow and button on that topic, if you're in an unhealthy situation, whether it's relationship, whether it's partnerships, a work environment, a school environment, what other kind of environments, a contractor, and a client, like whatever it is, a social worker, a therapist, a doctor, anyone that you are working in collaboration with to do a job and or to receive a service, you have the power to stay or go. You don't have to, and you should not ever stay where someone is mistreating you, or you're in an environment that's just not productive, not healthy, not conducive to your overall health and well-being, your psychological safety. I often talk about that. I'm big on calling that out, speaking about it, educating people about it, training folks on it. And I'm grateful that the team that I'm on now, they're open to that idea of including that language, including the essence of what that is in our training that we're going to move forward in our division, in our department, and who knows how far and wide that stretches. But it's super important that folks feel psychologically safe regardless of where they are, whether it's in a relationship, professional relationship, familial, a family relationship, um, a school relationship, friendship, partnership, whatever it is, churches, all of it. Any dynamic when you're interfacing with another human, you should feel psychologically safe, physically safe. Okay, you should feel safe. Psychologically safe is the umbrella. So if you don't feel safe physically or financially, emotionally, mentally, you don't feel psychologically safe. So psychological safety is the North Star. You want to feel safe. You want to feel at ease, and you want to feel peace. And if your spirit is disturbed and you don't feel peace and at ease when you're engaging with someone, it's off. That's your red flag. That lets you know this ain't it. And some of it is, I will say, because I've been through traumatic situations. Sometimes you might not feel safe on the inside because you haven't healed from what you've been through. And sometimes you can be projecting what you have been through with one person that resembles something in somebody else, but is not them. It could be your unhealed trauma that's triggering you and your memory, and your body remembers what happens to you. Your brain remembers what happens to you. So sometimes you can be projecting onto others what was done to you in your past, and it's not them that's doing it. It's just you haven't healed, and what they represent triggers you. Like for me, it's men. It's men, because the things that have been done to me in the past that has caused me harm and had me feel psychologically unsafe, physically unsafe, emotionally, mentally, right? All of that, but psychologically unsafe. That umbrella we talked about was caused by the men that were in my life that I trusted and that should have protected me, but they caused me harm. They caused me a lot of harm. And so not a victim blaming thing there. It's just more so stating the facts, because men in my past that I trusted, that I should have felt safe with, that should have protected me, from my great uncle to boyfriends to my ex-husband, because I wasn't protected and they did not keep me safe. Now I have developed a fear of men. And so I've been working through that, and by getting out there. And at one point I was afraid of people in general, but at over, I forgot at what point, but I would say probably a year and a half to 2 years ago, I start like being adamant on overcoming that fear, because I did not want to be imprisoned based off of what happened to me in my past, and missing out on all this beautiful life that I've been blessed with, and the opportunity to connect with some amazing human beings, and my future boo thing, and king, and hubby, and partner, and travel buddy, and change agent. Like, I want to change the world with my next guy. So I don't want to allow what happened, these individuals in my past, who caused that harm, that trauma in my brain, in my body, and in my world, to have a lasting impression on my heart, on my mind, on my spirit, that keeps me from being open to the possibility of love and relationships and partnerships and experiences. I'm 39. I got a lot of life to live, right? And whatever age you are, you got a lot of life to live. It's always a new day. It's the only time it's not a new day is if tomorrow don't come for you. Tomorrow don't come for me. But if tomorrow comes, it's a new day. And so whatever happened yesterday, we can leave it in yesterday. It takes some work, but if you want to leave that thing in yesterday, you can leave it in yesterday. Okay? I don't know what scripture, but it's coming to my mind that, like, every new day, I don't know how it is, the scripture, but it was like It came to my mind really quickly, but it's gone. But like every new day is like a new blessing. Every new day is a new blessing. So whatever that is, whatever scripture, um, I have to find it because now I want to know what it is. It came to my mind, but it's gone. But yeah, every new day is a new opportunity to get it right, to do it over, to make this thing your own, and you don't even have to wait for the next day. It could be the next moment. It could be the next moment. You can choose in this moment, even if you were triggered, that in the next moment that you're going to release that thing and not allow it to keep you hostage, right? You don't have to be imprisoned by anything that happened to you. And your mind can play tricks on you and have you imprisoned by things that happen to you. You take your power back because your mind can bully you. I have learned that in these past 3 or 4 years of me doing different forms of therapy, psychotherapy, regular therapy, and doing my own, like, I have virtual therapists, I have, my in-person therapists, I have therapists I actually pay for, and then therapists that I follow on the YouTube streets and on social media and all that. But all in all, they're always teaching about, specifically because I was diagnosed with OCD, and I am navigating that world with my brain being traumatized because of what happened in my past. And so I developed OCD as a result. So but also I learned that my grandma and potentially my great grandma had it as well. So it does have some like a genetic component to it, but it is also informed by traumas that you go through in the womb and once you are out of the womb. And so I've been experiencing different traumas since I was a little girl, unfortunately, but I've never let it control me. And that's a blessing. And I received that message early on as a child in church. But it was basically not to allow yourself, the people that do stuff to you, to have control over you, to have power over you. So basically, what the therapists often speak about is that your brain can be a bully when you have OCD, and it could bring on unwanted and intrusive thoughts. And I often experience that when I'm at a heightened state of stress. And so I'm in a great space now, but a couple of times this week and last week, like with the stress that was happening, my brain fires off. And you can easily follow your thoughts, and following your thoughts will get you caught up in some situations and have you imprisoned in your mind and have things, your thoughts can alter your reality. It's a very, very strong thing that happens in your brain when OCD, the part of your brain that OCD lights up in, goes off, and it starts controlling how you perceive individuals, conversations, and your reality. So I often have to be mindful of what's actually happening versus what my brain is saying is happening, and the intrusive thoughts that can come up. So I am often, not every day, but when it's like heightened, I have to center myself, write it down, and see things for what it is. And the brain can just be very powerful. So work on, if you're experiencing that, just know I understand you, that there is help. It's tons of help. No CD. I've mentioned this before. No CD. There's tons of therapists online that I've utilized. I got to remember to put it in the show notes. But when you're doing StreamYard, they don't allow you to put it in the show notes. It's not any show notes. So I got to figure out how to do that. Maybe I'll just go live on YouTube without doing StreamYard, and then I'll be able to do that. But yeah, so your brain can bully you, especially if you've been through traumatic things in your life. I'm about to go in the house because it's getting darker out here. And I want y'all to be able to see me because I want to do the celebratory part of some other fun stuff that I've done. But I want to close this out because this is where the conversation is going. But as someone who has OCD, I completely understand how powerful the brain is, and how misguided we can be with our decision making, and how the brain can keep you trapped and imprisoned. and control like your day to day and your outlook in life. And I thank God that God didn't give up. He constantly was sending folks to me, sending messages to me, like through the YouTubes, through the social medias. I've talked about this before, through people that I've encountered. And it wasn't like people were coming to me saying, God said this. It was more so, although I had that happen a couple of times when I was at church, and it was like they were doing like prophecies and stuff like that when I went for prayer. But majority of the time, it was just like conversations that would organically happen with people, and it would be a confirmation or an answer prayer that only I was experiencing in my head, and the struggles I would have at night from struggling to sleep. But it was just, or music would come on the radio that would literally be in response to what I was experiencing. These people don't know me from Adam and Eve, how they say, but it would be an answer. So you hear that, the sirens. Hope whatever's happened, folks are okay. It's Friday, it's homecoming weekend, so hopefully everything is good. But yeah, so try not to let what happened to you control you. And it's always easier said than done, but there's a lot of resources out here, a lot of free resources out here, because I know therapy is always the big thing, and we talked about it last 2 weeks ago on the last live. But there's so many free resources out here. You don't have to struggle, right? You don't have to stay in bondage. You don't have to stay trapped in your head or in the past or in the trauma that was done to you. It was not your fault, but it's your responsibility to take care of yourself. And a part of self-care is taking your power back, taking your life back. Okay. So let me put this stuff in this bag, and we're gonna go in the house because I'm gonna switch gears and tell y'all about the fun stuff that's been happening over the past couple of weeks, and especially this week, because your girl has been just out here doing it, exploring, being a little adventurous, not letting this life like pass me by, and not let what happened to me control me. So I got a lot in my hands, so hold on. I'm gonna come back for y'all. Give me 1 second. That might not be a good thing. Oh, we did it. Oh, shoot. I'll be back, y'all. I'm back. I'm coming to get y'all. Oh, my pillow's all jacked up on my couch. Okay, let's get the pillow. We going inside now. We're going inside. Oh, y'all up in my grill. We're going in the house. See, it's dark out there. Close the door. Boom. Okay, it's kind of close. Let me set y'all down and get my stuff. Hold on. Let me get my stuff and put y'all here. Okay, I'll be right back. Well, it's dark outside now. Okay. Let me get up here with the peoples. Okay. There we go. We up in there. All right. So what I want to transition to, y'all be sure to take care of yourself. There's a lot of free resources out there. I can't speak about that enough. It's really been a game changer for me. And I thank God for all the folks who decided to provide support and resources, free resources and support and education, therapeutic education online on YouTube. So whatever you got going on, just type it in the YouTube search bar, and you can find a therapist that is helping with that. The best ones that I found is therapists who also have OCD and or anxiety, because man, let me tell you something. Last weekend I was having a wild anxiety attack, And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, it would just be like a wave of flutters in my body, and it's like this in my chest. I was clutching my chest a couple of times, and my mom and my daughter was sitting by me, and they seen it. But it's just like I'm sitting there calm, but on the inside, I'm not calm. Your body remembers the score. Okay, your body keeps the score. That's a book. The body keeps the score. So you could take a look at that book or listen. They got an Audible, but you could probably find a YouTuber that has the audio version of it. But the body truly does keep the score, and so does your brain. Okay, your brain. Remember, your brain is very smart, but it can be a bully. It remember all the things that happen to you, and in its own way, although it can be a bully with the OCD thing, but the brain in its own way, because it is a beautiful creation, it is just trying to protect you. So developing OCD and PTSD and all that, and anxiety and depression, it's your brain's way. The fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. It's just your brain trying to protect you in its own way because they remember what happened. It remembers what happened to you. But the more you spend time on these free YouTube streets with these therapists, the more you can release the things that happen to you so it does not imprison you and keep you bound. Because that's not what God wants for us. God wants us to live freely and to live a prosperous life, joyful life. Okay. So do that for yourself because that is the highest form of self care. That's the highest form of self care. Recognizing what you've been through, understanding how it's impacting you on a day to day, and how you project it on others, or how you navigate through your life through that lens, your lived learned experience. And when you realize that this triggers me often, that's an indication. Your brain and your body is giving you an indication that this is an area that I need to be healed in because it's triggering me. So when that happens, I am not always the best at it. Sometimes I don't want to deal with it in that moment because it does take some work. It does take some work. And I don't want to cry at that moment. I don't want to cry at that moment. So I have trained myself, and I've been trained based on what I've seen growing up, to just move on, do something to make me laugh, just have fun, dance it out, party it out. But see, when all your vices start getting taken away, and all you have left is to deal with you, because you don't use your, I call them pacifiers. You don't use those pacifiers to help you manage your emotions, whether it's food or alcohol or drugs or cigarettes or vaping or sex or partying, being a workaholic. When God bring all that stuff to your attention, like, you're running from yourself, you're running from your problems. And the only way to put down these things that's causing your body harm and causing, reducing your life expectancy, reducing your quality of life. That's what I was looking for as well. The only way you can get back this amazing life that I gave to you is by dealing with it head on, addressing it. And it's hard, it's uncomfortable, it can be costly with your time. But I would rather spend a period of time doing a deep dive and healing from what happened to me than to let it follow me and me having to carry that baggage throughout my entire life, and me never being in a relationship again, never being married again, never finding love again, never having healthy relationships or friendships again, never being able to have productive and healthy partnerships and collaborations again. I'm such a people person. I can't live life in isolation. So it's so invaluable, you taking time to take care of yourself. Like, you have to take care of yourself. It's not even an option if you want to live the life that you desire, that God desires for you, that your parents may have desired for you, but most importantly, you and God. Like, what do you want to do in your life, right? Don't let what happened to you keep you in prison. That's the message there, okay? Okay. You're worthy. That was on my board, my vision board. It was my theme of the year 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and it was the same year that Jada Pinkett put out her book, and other people start using that started being the theme of the year. But that came to me at the top of the year before all that was announced, and when that happens, I'm like, that was a God wink. That was a God thing. But yeah, that I am worthy and I'm worth it, right? So you're worthy. You're worthy. And you're worth it. Michelle,
Hey, mom, is DJ allowed to sleep over?
tonight,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, and hey, stop doing last minute stuff.
No, you said that Francis can sleep over on Friday. You
Ye-
said that.
yes, just give me a heads up. I'm on live. I'm on live, Shell.
Wait, wait.
Yes, honey.
You're gonna get dressed with me tomorrow. We just have
It's
to figure out
homecoming
what
weekend,
dress
y'all.
code.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All right.
All right, love you. Drive safe. Be back here by 10.
Have fun. Love you too.
10 o'clock. Bye.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to get it tomorrow.
I said you be home by 10 o'clock. What it like I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm on live. I gotta go.
I'll just talk to you about it
Be
later.
home by 10. Okay, bye. My daughter. She last minute plans everything. I'm trying to work with her on that. But I was also that kid and that adult. And I still have those moments. But anywho's, so that's my encouragement for y'all. Take care of y'all. Take care of y'all. Prioritize your health and well-being. Your psychological safety is the utmost importance. So if you are not in a psychologically safe situation, exit stage left. You are worthy of freedom. You're worthy of peace. You're worthy of joy. You're worthy of a life that is prosperous, that you can flourish and you can achieve all the things. So, exit stage left. Don't wait for folks to change. You change. You change what you allow in your world and what you allow to have access to you. I teach my kids this because I've had to learn this the hard way. And as an adult in my 30s, mid late 30s, everybody don't have access to you. Everybody don't have access to you. It does not make you a bad person. It makes you a wise person. Everybody should not have access to you because there are some people that come to pour into you, and there are some people that come to pull everything out of you so they can have it to their advantage. And by the time you're finished your dream, they come to extract. And you would know. That's something that I'd be like, I don't have that spirit of discernment. Well, guess what? I celebrated this week. I celebrated my realization that I do have the spirit of discernment when I was communicating with one of my friends slash partners about that I do have the spirit of discernment. Not all the time have I listened to the spirit of discernment, but I do have it. It comes up. And when you are unsettled in your spirit and you're not at peace and it's chaos, anytime this person or people are around and your spirit is unsettled and you're drained, release yourself from that. Release yourself from that. You're worthy of being around in healthy situations, healthy partnerships, healthy relationships. You're worthy. You deserve that. So free yourself from that, release yourself from it, and enjoy your life. Okay. Now, going into all the other fun stuff that was happening, y'all, because listen, it's been an amazing 2 weeks. I'm going to start today and work my way backwards or like whatever. I'm just going to talk about it. So, this past week, I went to do some advocacy work at the Ohio State House in Columbus. And I did it on behalf of two organizations. The organization I work for, Cleveland Department of Public Health, as the policy analyst. I was there operating through that lens and that capacity, but I also was there operating in the capacity as the chair of First Year Cleveland's Maternal Mental Health Policy Subcommittee. And I also serve on their bigger public policy committee. And I loved every moment of it. I got so many pictures. I'm gonna do a recap video and I will post it this weekend. I'm gonna post it this weekend because I be having so much footage, y'all. So much be going on in my world. I be capturing the moments. And I never, ever, not never, but as of late, I don't be putting all that footage together into like a video collage capturing my experience, my memories. I used to be so good at putting together a reel and videos, but I haven't done it in so long. I've just been locked in into being present in my world and just going for things and pushing myself out of my comfort zone and pushing past any fears or doubts that I might have. I've been going for it, y'all. And I told y'all before, like I do it uncertain. I do it um sometimes with not 100% confidence. I do it being afraid. Like I do it. And that has been my superpower since I was younger. I would say the things people were afraid to say. I would do the things others were afraid to do. And that's how I've advanced in my career and had opportunities and developed partnerships and strengthened relationships and have continued to grow. So that brings some stuff to mind that I need to do and get over my fear of asking. I just need to do it. And I didn't put that on my list to do today, and I was supposed to. Actually, it should have been done a while ago. It's board work I got to do. I'm on a board, and we have a gala coming up, so I got to reach out to some people. But I still have that whole, I don't want to say fear, but it is a little bit. But I'm working on overcoming this, the fear of rejection, in all angles and areas of my life. So that's the biggest thing, fear of rejection. If you can get over the fear of being rejected by humans, you'll be straight. And let me tell you my secret that I've been learning. And I've been learning it because God been sending it my way. The fear of rejection is a real thing that we feel as humans because we're human and humans have rejected us at some point. And a lot of times it starts as little bitty kids. And so throughout our life, we carry those experiences. Remember, the body and the brain keeps the score. And so as the body and brain's way of protecting you, that fear of rejection often comes up when opportunities come your way and your brain is like, remember what happened when you were 3, 5 years old and the kid on the playground didn't pick you for whatever game or allow you to join them for the activity or get a turn on the swing, or you felt left out in school or bullied or teased and was made to feel to be the outsider and not included. All those things, by the way, I experienced. So you carry this, and it's not an unnormal thing. Folks feel this way, and that keeps us from going for it. That keeps us from going for it. And so what my superpower is that I often push past and go for it, even if I don't have all the answers. I don't know all the things. I don't know all the people. I go for it. I go for it. And most times it works out. I get opportunities because that old saying, a closed mouth don't get fed. If you want something that's in your heart of hearts, everything is pulling at you. You can't get it off your mind, out of your spirit, out of your bones. And it's like a deep desire. Maybe, just maybe, that's God saying, go for it. It's yours. It's yours. Go for it. Go for it. Because if it's God ordained and it's something that He placed in you and you know it because it won't get up off of you and it's all you think about, it's all you want to do, it's all you want to spend time doing and learning and studying and developing your skill sets, that's something, that's a direction that God is opening up the path. And you will know it when things start unveiling itself to you and opportunities just start flowing your way. And you just take that one step and go and everything fall into place. That's what I'm experiencing. So, that being said, I went to Columbus and did some advocacy work, being on this committee. To It's been a full year since I have went to Columbus, but I want to say it's been a year and a half to 2 year, almost 2 years. Yeah, it's almost 2 years because I joined this committee at the same time that I joined that board. So it's been almost 2 years that I have been a part of this committee, and about a year and a half since I've chaired the subcommittee with maternal mental health policies. And because I stepped up, I said, I'll do it. Because it was crickets, and it was like on the inside when she asked, they're looking for a chair. I was like, no, no, I don't know enough, blah, blah, blah. And then I went for it. It was just like, go. It was just something on the inside pushing me to say you'll do it, say you'll do it, do it, do it, do it. And I just went for it. I did it. I did it. And it's been one of the best things that I could have done for myself at this stage in my life, in my career, in my professional development, because it's opening up doors and opportunities that allows me to step more and more into the space that I see my life and my career going in. And that's the world of policy. It's the word of policy. I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm still learning a lot, but I'm bringing my lived, learned experiences to where I am right now. And when I first started out, I was like, oh my goodness, reading all this stuff is like a foreign language. It was confusing, the wording, how they talk. It's like, it's just, what is this? What is that? The terminology. So it intimidated me a lot because it's just not something that I learned in school. I didn't study it. And it wasn't until I went to school for it, then it was like everything opened up. But nonetheless, I'm like walking in it. I'm walking in it. I'm doing it. It's exciting. The experience was amazing. I still get nervous. I still often feel like I'm underprepared. Um, and in some areas I am, but the more I do it, the more prepared I will be. Um, yeah, but it was cool. So we were able to meet with the elected official aides. We met with one elected official. That was a little tough interaction, but I did what I do best, which is connect human to human. So I humanized the conversation, and kind of got us on the same page, leveled the playing field in that part of the discussion, and it lightened the mood, the energy in the room, and it turned out to be a great time. So again, I'll share all of the footage that I gathered, both picture and videos, and I will put together a video and share it on YouTube so y'all can see my experience at this year's Infant Vitality Advocacy Day, and the theme was lighting the way to one, because this organization, First Year Cleveland, in the name, hint, hint, hints, the name, we focus on helping moms and babies ensure that babies make it to and past their first birthday. So it was an amazing advocacy day. It was pretty flawless. They did a great job with everything. So I'm very proud to partner with an organization like that. And this is an example of what I'm talking about, where I say at this point in my life, I just want to do great work, link arms with amazing people that's doing amazing godly work as it relates to helping people, improving the health and well-being of people, of God's children, and improving the state of our communities, of neighborhoods, of the forgotten about communities and forgotten about neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that were strategically disinvested. And therefore they have the outcomes, they have the very, very toxic environment, unsafe environment, very, very, very like stripped environment, like stripped of resources, just such lack. So just wanting to be a part of that, because every child deserves to have access to everything they need. Every human deserves to have access to everything that they need. Everything that they want, that's a God thing. But on a basic human level, with systems and resources, every human should have access, and be able to, they should be able to obtain every resource and support that they need to live well, and live well for a long time in the healthiest state as possible. So for me, that's the work that I am doing. That's the work I want to do for the rest of my life. Is just helping to improve the state of the world, one community at a time, one person, one community at a time, which is my vision. It's my tagline. It's my vision with my business, the Living Well and Inside Out Wellness. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. What else? So that was great. I spent 24 hours in Columbus. I wound up getting a hotel because I was gonna come home, and it was like, you know what? No, no. I'm going to do this for me. I'm going to stay out here and enjoy my time with one of my she started out as my partner, and she's becoming a friend of mine. And I'm going to go and support her tomorrow. So I'm going to get some footage. She has her own line of mocktails and her own line of sauces. And those of y'all that know me, I'm a saucy girl. I love the sauces. I'm a foodie. So I'm all here for the eats, the experience, the opportunities, the taste testing. That was my very first job, being a taste tester as a little girl in my family's kitchen. I love to taste test. Sometimes they knew I was taste testing, and sometimes they didn't. But nonetheless, it was my first job. And she also has a line of mocktails, and I loved some good wine. Okay, love some good wine. But as I've gotten older, wine don't sit well with me. In my 20s, I could do straight alcohol, straight liquor, beers when I was playing spades and all of that, house parties, a good Corona with a lime. 30s, mid 30s, definitely. Like 30s, I switched to like Chardonnay, and then mid 30s, it was like my body can't handle it. My brain, like, I would get headaches, feel like I'm hungover, even if it was just like a little bit. So I just can't. I can't. It's like my body is allergic now. It's not letting me do it. But I still love a good beverage. But I love my life more. And I don't want to be laid up missing my life because I'm sick because I drunk some wine and my body keeps telling me it doesn't want it. You are not welcome here. That's what my body is telling me. You are not welcome here. So stop putting this in our system. So no more wine for me, no more alcohol for me. And I'm doing that because you just never know, right? But I'm not somebody that need it. I'm more of like a social drinker. I want it, but I did have moments where it was like I use that as a pacifier. But honestly, I don't have a desire to drink. So that's why I'm like, I'm okay if I don't have it. I'm kind of over it because I value my life. I want to live a long time, and I want to be able to wake up and do amazing things every day, and I can't be in a drunken stupor. So she has a line of mocktails, and I can't wait to taste them because I love going to a restaurant and get mocktails. I would say this year, as I've been trying new stuff, I've been drinking mocktails when I go out on trips and on adventures, and I have a good time, and I can still go and enjoy myself and not be afraid or cause people harm because I'm drinking and driving or I'm intoxicated. So I really do prefer a mocktail. I really prefer a mocktail. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to an event tomorrow. It's at one of our local parks where they do farmers markets. So it's going to be a big veg festival. So it's for like vegans, a vegan festival. I'm not a vegan, but I'm open to exploring and experiencing some new things, expanding my taste buds because I am kind of tired of eating the same thing. This is comfort food season, but I'm over the whole comfort food season where I gain 15, 20 pounds. I want to lose 15 to 20 pounds before the end of this year. Actually, my goal was to lose 30 pounds by the end of this year, do 10 pounds each month, but the realistic goal will probably be like 15 because my behavior up until this point in this season hasn't been super dedicated to losing weight in a way where I can sustain or even achieve 10 pounds every month. I might be able to get 10 pounds this month or in a month where I'm like dedicated and I'm doing everything, but I haven't even been on that trajectory, so it's unrealistic for me to set that type of goal. Y'all know how it go. We set unrealistic goals all the time and then we give up. So a realistic goal would be like 5 pounds a month versus 10 pounds a month. So my main thing is I want to lose throughout this process. If nothing else, I want to maintain throughout this season. But I really want to lose and tone in certain areas and just feel amazing and be vibrant. So I want to try some new things, invite some new stuff in my space. Try not to eat the traditional Thanksgiving food. I've done that before when I was on keto and I had my family trying some new stuff. We're going to see my sister for Thanksgiving. So we'll see. She's down south now, Midwest down south. So she want to do the cooking because she like, I've been down here and these women, they've been showing me how to like really cook. So she wants to do the Thanksgiving dinner all on her own. So if we are going to have traditional Thanksgiving dinner, I'll just focus on eating a smaller portion. And so that's really what I've been locked into doing is on that wavelength is just try not to be so consumed and controlled by substances, whether it's food, alcohol, whatever it is, not to be controlled by it because of things I haven't healed from and using it as a pacifier. So, anywho, again, releasing stuff, releasing stuff. So, that was a major win, being able to be in Columbus advocating on behalf of moms and babies and family units with folks who may or may not um, align with supporting the community and having safety net programs for communities, because of where the administration is right now. But I will say the folks that we talked to were, for the most part, open minded. It was just one who was a little bit apprehensive to have the conversation, but we connected on kids because if you're a parent, you understand, regardless if you're a woman, regardless of the color of your skin, you're a human and you know what it's like to have kids and lose sleep and have your mental health impacted as a result. If you got a kid that's sick, that absolutely impacts your mental health. So maternal mental health is not just about a woman. It is, but it's everything attached to that woman. It's the baby that she's carrying, the family that has to support her and be there and might not know how to do that in a way that best supports her. And they also have to navigate if she's not mentally stable because of what's happening in her body that's out of her control. So getting guys to understand that and getting people who might not have experienced that or they don't come from that space, just getting them to level set on what it's like just to be a human and to be a parent and having a loved one that can be going through something like that and why it's important to invest resources, financial and wraparound support resources such as doulas and community health workers. That's what I was really advocating for reinvestment and enhanced investment and funding support to strengthen the workforce for doulas and community health workers to be that wraparound support for moms, babies, and dads, the whole family unit, during the perinatal and postnatal period. So when the mom is pregnant and after the mom gives birth to the baby, she needs some support, at least for the first 18 months, needs some hands-on support. And I would say that also depends on the health of the baby, right? And the health of the mom. It might need to be more. You might need to extend that or lessen that, just depends. But at least 18-month support for wraparound until the mom gain her bearings, the family unit is strong, the baby is good. We just need ongoing support. And even after 18, other forms of support, but they might not need as much hands-on with somebody spending as much time with them. But yeah, sleep deprivation can cause a lot. Being in heightened, toxic, stressful situations can cause a lot of mental unstable mental health for moms carrying babies, and for babies themselves. And so the healthier the mom is, the healthier the baby is, the healthier the family dynamic is. So we have to lock in on caring for our moms and our babies and the family unit. And dads are not excluded. It's just that the moms are the ones that are carrying the baby. You're supporting the mom, but we want to make sure that mom is taken care of. And as a result, you are taken care of if we get wraparound support. Because if mom gets the support she needs and the baby gets the support they need, that offsets your burden and the stress factors that you could be experiencing as the dad, as the husband, as the support system. So, all in all, that was an amazing experience, amazing advocacy day. They do it multiple times throughout the year, different forms of advocacy, but this specific advocacy day is during the month of September, which is the I want to say it's the Infant Mortality Awareness Month, but it's also, September is also, the awareness of what happens when mental health isn't supported and folks don't get what they need, and how it could take someone before their time. So that. It was a nice way to button up the month. This week also, what I did today, I went and did something fun, and I'll put a video up of that as well. I have a lot of different small video clips of us doing it. It's a little at a weird angle. You're going to be in the sand, but you'll see us from the POV of sand, doing volleyball. So I'm not a volleyball player, but I love a good time. I love connecting with humans and people, just good people and having a good time. And so I've been opening myself up to opportunities and being a little bit more adventurous. And so one of the basketball moms that I met a couple of years ago, her and my daughter became like bestie boos. And she coordinates these fun, adventurous activities for her colleagues and her friends. And she has included me in the invitations. And so when I have the availability, I go. So as a result, like with her, I've done pickleball, I've done um, not kayaking, but it's the like the lazy river donut thing, but we basically floated on the Cuyahoga River. Never did that. So we did that as a group this summer. I did pickleball this summer with her and the group that she convenes. And today was my first time doing volleyball. Now I went to their volleyball gathering before, but I went late because I had things happening. But I was still able to mingle. But today I actually went, and I spent a nice my lunch break, which I had an extended lunch break that I could use, um, because I have that flexibility with this job. You just make sure that you work the time that you need to work, like your hours, but you can have that flexibility, which I love. So I was able to go on my lunch break and enjoy this beautiful Friday, this 80-degree weather with all this sunshine, and have my toes in the sand, just laughing, joking, hanging out, and playing volleyball with other grown people. It was a good time. It was a good time. And all the courts were available. Nobody was really there. It was a great time. And before I went over there to play volleyball, I posted that video of me just walking up to the water. It was so calming and peaceful. If I had my chair, I would have sat down. If I had more time, I would have sat down in the grass. It's like less than 10 minutes away from my job. So I will spend time there more often on my lunch break before the weather changes and it gets too cold to be out there. I definitely want to take advantage of just this season in my life. Not only is it fall season, but the season of freedom, like me actually feeling free, feeling safe enough in my body and in this world to feel psychologically safe and free. When you feel psychologically safe, you're free and you're at peace and you're at ease and you can be in environments and not feel terrified. And so I am enjoying this season for me. And I want this for the rest of my life where I don't feel afraid. Now it's not always perfect because sometimes depending on where I'm walking, I might feel a little bit of like I gotta look over my shoulder a little bit more. But more than not, like I would say it's like 90, 95%. I feel safe in certain situations, right? Um, and so I'm loving that for me because I'm not walking in fear. I'm not walking in fear. I'm walking in freedom. And that's the goal. That's the biggest win is to walk in freedom and not fear. Like in every iteration of your life, every season of your life, every moment of your life, we should be walking in freedom and not fear. What came to my head is my song. It's called No Fear. It is my song. Let me tell you, it is like an anthem. It gets you hype. I listen to 95.5 The Fish, and they be having some good Christian music on there, y'all. It gets me going. Like if I'm having a tough day, if I'm having a joyous day, if I just want to make sure my spirit is good, it's the song that come on. A lot of that music on that channel has definitely like helped me through some moments and have been answered prayers for me and just like reassurance for me in some of my darkest and scariest times. But this song is one of many that just like it goes like no fear. I kind of want to sing it, but it goes like no fear, no fear. The lighting of the world makes the darkness disappear. No fear, no fear. Oh, I forgot the other part. But basically, the light of the world make the darkness disappear. Like we don't have a reason to be fearful. And it'd be like, not over my life, not over my life, God over my life. Like God's over my life, not over my life. Like fear don't have no control. Fear don't have no control over my family. This is the lyrics. Not over my family, not over my future, not over my life. God's over my life. Not over my battles, not over my struggles, not over my life. God's over my life. And then it'd be like, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. And it'd be like, I will have no fear, no fear. Woo! That gets me going, y'all. When I was on my way to the court to do volleyball today, I just love that for me, by the way. I was in the mirror after I got dressed, heading out on my lunch. I was like, I love this for you, girl. I love this for you. About to go do volleyball on your lunch. I miss this. This was like me when I was in South Korea. Although I didn't do volleyball, I used to go on runs on my lunch break. But I love this for me. But anywho, that song came on when I was heading to the volleyball courts, and I just blasted it. It's like blasted in the car. It's just such a amazing, powerful, powerful anthem, like to get you right. Because if you have ever been in a season of fear in your life, you know how crippling that can be. You know how crippling that can be. And to be able to take your power back and walk in freedom and not fear, oh my goodness, it is the greatest victory. It is the greatest victory. Listen, it don't matter. Money don't matter. It doesn't matter the accolades, the awards, the recognition. There is no greater gift than freedom. There is no greater than freedom and peace. Freedom and peace. Okay? But with freedom comes peace. And you know where you get both of those? God. God's gift. God's gift. Who's the Prince of Peace? Jesus. God's gift of freedom and peace is why he was sent, y'all. And I know it'd be like, we don't know, and he's a prophet and all that other kind of stuff. Listen, I have lived it myself. And there's only one name that I've ever called in the midst of terrors in the middle of the night, and it was Jesus. It was Jesus. It was Jesus. And that peace came over me. So when I tell you, I only say it because I know it and I can testify. When they say them tests be your testimonies, I've been hearing this since I was younger, but it ain't nothing like going through it yourself. Although, don't nobody want to go through these tests. I ain't even gonna hold you. But being on the other side of it, you can look back and help others that are going through it. And so I pray that this is helping someone, is touching your heart, and know that you don't have to fear. You don't have to fear. And I know it's easier said than done, baby. I have been there. And in some moments, I still be there. And then I am quickly reminded. I told my mom this. I'd be like, I be having moments and my brain want to take me this way. And then it'd be like, immediately God respond with the answer. Like, nope, remember. Now, God ain't saying no, remember, but this is how I'm taking the reminders when I get it by way of music or messenger or scripture or whatever it is. Like, it'd be like, remember, you're not in bondage. You're free to make your choices. Um, and you have my peace no matter what situation you're in. You are free and you have my peace. And if I have that and I have his love, I never finished that statement about the rejection, huh? This is, y'all see this. This is ADHD in real life, y'all. It's not my identity, but it is how my brain processes. So I don't know if I ever finished that, the rejection thing, but what I wanted to say on that part, along with freedom and peace, God also gives you his un, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I literally got out my car and I told God, I was like, because my brain was going and my thoughts were going earlier this week or the week before. And it was trying to take it, like my spirit was going down and I started like doubting myself and it started being like a gloomy situation because my thoughts were going and just like not being included and feeling rejected or whatever. And whether it's by, I think it was even by my, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was by my son because he's going through this stage in his life. And me not wanting, like, the thing that was happening at work and all of that, so me not wanting to say anything that disturbs anybody or get them upset, because of the rejection part, right? And the song came on, I forgot what song, but a song came on and it reminded me that I'm already loved. Oh, I'm actually saying it right. I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. I know what you've spoken. I don't know if that's the song, but this is a song that absolutely confirms that we're already loved. We're already chosen. Okay. You're already loved. So if don't nobody else show you love or love you, which somebody does love you, sometimes it don't feel like it, but we are loved. But if you never feel loved by anybody else, just know you're always loved by God. Always loved by God. I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. It don't matter who ain't pick you on a playground, who ain't pick you in your family, who didn't pick you in a relationship, who didn't pick you in a partnership, who didn't pick you for an award, who didn't pick you for an accolade, who didn't pick you for a job, who didn't pick you for opportunity. You're already chosen. I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. What do God say about you? Who do God say you are? This is the things that he's been teaching me by way of all these different modes and medium of communication that God uses to talk to his children. So we're already loved. We're already chosen. I know who I am. We know who we are. And if you don't know, now you know. You are God's beloved. You are God's chosen. You are God's um, daughter. You are the daughter and son of the highest king, the Prince of Peace, the God that gives you all authority and power to walk this earth and not fear, not be afraid of anyone or any being. No power, no principality, no politician. You don't have to be afraid of anyone. So God gives us power and authority and freedom over our life and peace over our life. So, dang it, what's the song again? I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. I know what you've spoken. All of that. I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. And I know what you've spoken. Ooh, I'm already loved more than I can imagine. That is enough. That is enough. You are enough. So I am enough. Listen, woo, that take you out. Okay, I know we're going there, but somebody need to hear that. So thank you for that, God, because I know I needed to hear it when I needed to hear it. So I'm already loved. I'm already chosen. I know who I am. I know what you've spoken. Remember that. So when you have that fear of rejection and being afraid to go for things and being afraid to show up as your best self and being afraid to follow the path that God is opening up for you, the deepest desires that are within you that he wants to bring out of you, so you can realize all of those amazing dreams and desires you had as a little child that kind of got covered by all the things that happened to you in your life. That's also something that you need to release. As you release those things and you come more into yourself, like release all those identities that have been placed on you by things that you have been through and things that people have called you and said about you, like you weren't good enough, you weren't smart enough, you didn't speak eloquently enough, you weren't concise enough. And so these are some of the things that I've heard. You weren't prestigious enough, you weren't connected enough, you weren't wealthy enough, you weren't a certain complexion or ethnicity or a gender or from a certain zip code, socioeconomic status, a family name, like whatever it is that people out here say in the world, in society, in the zeitgeist, like whatever they say that you have taken on in your brain as truth, let me be the first to tell you, if nobody has ever told you, all those lies, you got to release that. Because if you look at what they have told you, and if it doesn't align with what God says about you, those are lies, no matter who it comes from. It doesn't matter if it came from siblings, your parents, grandparents, family members. Let's do the blanket family members, the ones close to you in the household, or your extended family outside the household. It doesn't matter if it came from teachers, friends, somebody you're in a relationship with, partnership, a boss, a mentor, a trusted confidant. It doesn't matter who it was. If they said things about you that does not align with what God says about you, it's a lie. It's a lie. And I don't know about you, I would rather follow the identity that God gave me and what God says about me over anything that a finicky human will say based on their emotion for that moment or in that day, on that day or in that moment. I'll take God's word over anybody else's word. I see myself as God see me. And I'm still working through that. I ain't perfect. But anytime I teeter on the side or outside of what God says about me, God quickly reminds me what he says about me. And that is the most amazing, amazing feeling of protection, of being psychologically safe. God has been showing me what it means to be loved and protected and seen and supported and encouraged. And I don't know if I said respect, I think I said protected, but also respected. And someone to invest in you and believe in you and to pour in you and to show you who you are, even when you don't realize who you are. To hold the mirror up to you, to show you that this right here is not who I created you to be. This is all these things that other people have put on you and in you. You got to release that. That is not you. That is not you. And that doesn't represent me. Who I am, who I say you are, is powerful, is brilliant, is creative, is funny, is articulate, is whatever you want to throw on it. You are not impoverished. You are prosperous. You are not a victim. You are victorious. Okay? You are not stupid. You are brilliant. You are not incompetent. You are extremely competent. You do not have low self-esteem. Well, you could have low self-esteem in that moment, but the reason why you have low self-esteem is not your truth. If ever you find that you are low self-esteem, if you have low self-esteem, and I'm saying this from somebody who has been working on overcoming my self-esteem, which my confidence is back, baby. But when I was down there and when my kids had those moments as well, and through life we have those moments, but if you ever have any doubt about yourself and you don't have high self-esteem about anything and you're doubting, that's an indicator that that is not of God. It's not the truth of God. You doubting yourself and doubting your capabilities and doubting um um Oh, I said capabilities. You're doubting yourself, your abilities. Um, that's all that's coming to me right now. Something else coming to me, I'll say it. But if you're doubting yourself in any kind of way and you having low self-esteem, that is an indicator that you are believing what other people have said about you. That's the indicator. You're believing what other people have said about you. When you are walking in power, and power, and power, not a power where you are looking down on others, but you are secure in who you are. You are confident in who you are, right? You know who you are and you stand firm in that, regardless of what people say about you and around you. And regardless of if they believe in you or not, if you believe in yourself and you walk in that power from the all knowing, the almighty, the one who is here now, but was also there in the beginning and in the end, but is also present now and speaking over you, who you gonna believe? People who are only here for a minuscule moment, or the everlasting, the ever knowing that has been here, that was, is, and forever will be? I'm gonna hedge my bet on God. Okay. So another thing that you can sense if this is of God or not is how it makes you feel. How does it make you feel? Do you feel gloomy? Do you feel disenchanted? Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel lost? Do you feel defeated? Do you feel confused? That's not of God. Mm-mm. Those are the tricks of the enemy. That's not of God. Those are things that people have said to you with whether it's been of somebody, it's unintentional or it was intentional. Those are things that people put on you and you start believing about yourself, and now you're playing that record over and over in your mind and you're speaking out and it's taking on your identity. I have done that. I have done that. I start saying and speaking over myself and into myself what people were saying about me. And then I start believing it. And guess what? I start operating in that belief system. And it completely took me away from everything that I knew what was true about me and what God had said about me. But because so many people were saying it about me, I believed it to be true. Just because a lot of people say it don't mean it is true. I want y'all to know that. I know they used to say that. Well, if everybody's saying this about this person, that means it's true. No, because one thing that is true, take this and run with it. It's a thing called groupthink. 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 It is a scientific theory that if you get enough people saying the same thing and you're in a room, humans don't like to feel like the eyeball out or feel rejected. And therefore, they will go along to get along just to be a part of the group. So they will take on the group's ideology, the group's beliefs, because they don't want to be the eyeball out and say the factual information. They would just go along to get along. Groupthink. So just because everybody's saying something about one person doesn't make it true. So if you are someone that have taken on other people's belief systems and viewpoints about you, and it does not align with God, and I gave you the reasons how you can test if that align with God, even before like you go confirm it, just pay attention to how you're feeling. Do you have a positive outlook on life? Are you going for things that is well beyond what people say that you can do? Or are you staying in the box that they put you in? Are you pushing past your limits? Are you going for it? Are you trusting what's within you, your desires that will help not only you, but others as you create, as you produce, as you go for these big, bold God visions? Or are you staying trapped in what happened to you and the identities that people placed on you? Do you feel downtrodden? Do you feel gloom and doom? Do you feel hopeless? Or are you hopeful? Are you joyous? Are you taking every day? Are you taking every day's opportunities that come your way? Are you going for it? Are you having what Pastor Michael Todd called crazy faith? And what you can confirm is in God's word. Now, if you are somebody who, like me, who have OCD, religious scrupulosity, sometimes it's religious scrupulosity or OCD, religious OCD or OCD scrupulosity. If you have that, like I have went through a period where I was afraid to open up the Bible, even though I know God kept on like, hey, if you learn my character, if you learn who I am, you won't be afraid of me. But I was afraid for so long, and I ran as a result of what happened to me with the stuff, with the traumatic stuff that had my brain all confused and lost and scared. But what God was doing was, you don't have to open up the Bible. I will bring the Bible to you. So I literally, no matter what I was doing on social media, and I've said this many times, when I was running, trying not to have any interactions, no religious stuff, no spiritual stuff, my mother laughed when I said, I'm like, I don't want no parts of none of it. I don't want no parts of none of it. God didn't give up on me. God chased me down. God will chase you down, not in a scary way, but in a way to know I am here for you. I love you, and I will not let you stay here. You will not stay here. You will not stay lost. You will not stay in fear. You will not stay scared. You will not stay in this wilderness. You will not have to continue to climb this mountain. You will see the mountaintop. You will have peace. You will sleep throughout the night again. You will not have to cry yourself to sleep. You will not have to be fearful. I am here to love on you, to protect you, to lead you, to comfort you, to help you be prosperous. You don't have to fear me. And, in all the ways he's been showing me who I am through his eyes, through music, through messages, through scripture that come by way of when I was scrolling on social media, just trying to be lost in it and not really deal with what I had going on. Now all these social media jokers be on there spreading the word. It's a blessing. It really is a blessing for those of us that's running from it. It's like God will use any and everything that the enemy meant for evil and use it for his good. And he always had the final say. Always. And guess what? Just a little secret. Just a little secret. This helps those of us that have OCD, religious scrupulosity, or any form of OCD, and you feel in prison or afraid, but specifically the religious OCD part of things. Just remember this, that God already won. It's already done. God already won the battle. We just walking this thing out. We're realizing what's already been achieved in the future. So that gives me so much power, because I know if I'm on this side of it and I'm walking as God is leading, I'm going for things and walking in that freedom and in that power and in that strength and that confidence, nothing can stop me. And just like I tell my kids, the only limitations that are placed on you are the limitations you place on yourself. And we place them on ourselves by way of what we believe about ourselves. And so, how are you believing about yourself? What's informing that belief system? Is it your lived learned experiences? What folks have said about you along your life's journey? Or is it about what God says about you? Because remember, humans are finicky. They can praise you this day, and as we know, they can crucify you the next day. They can build you up just to tear you down, because humans are flawed. A lot of humans haven't healed from what they've been through. The one constant in this world that has always been constant and never wavering is God's love for us and how God views us and what God wants for us, what he desires for us. So I love to be on the winning side. And God's a winner. So I'm going to believe what he said about me. And again, I'm not perfect. I have moments, but I'm grateful that I always get centered in the truth. So center yourself in the truth. Okay. This went in another direction. I didn't know it was going to go. I thought I was going to get on here and tell y'all about all the fun stuff I did. But I'm only able to do this fun stuff and experience all these amazing things with going to the state capitol and advocating and having these interactions with people and folks speaking. Now, this is the amazing part when folks do speak over you, but they're speaking in alignment with what God says about you and what God's already shown you. Or it can be opening up something that you didn't even realize was an opportunity for you. And for me, it's what can happen in my world as it relates to government and policy and all of that. And having folks like speak to me in real life and things that they've seen, like, oh, I could see you being a member of the House of Representatives. At one point it was being a councilwoman, at one point it was being a mayor, um and leading in this fight and in this work um with advocating on behalf of the people. That has been like coming to me for the past like 6 years, 5 6 years. So much so has led me in this direction, and whatever happens with it. I'm not trying to force anything, but I do know things are unfolding. Things are unfolding, and I just really, no matter what, I just want to connect with people. I want to do good work with people. That's what I want to do. And it's all for the betterment of the community. I just want to help people live well. And that starts with folks' environment, their environment, and what's being spoken into them and what they have, with who and what they're connected to. So your relationship with God is first and foremost. Believing his viewpoint of you, his identity of you is most important, because again, this world is fleeting and, and humans are finicky. Okay. And then your environment, your built environment, the house you grew up in. How are people treating you in that house? What does that environment look like for you? And when you step out of the house, what does that neighborhood look like for you? What do you have access to? Is it more greenery? Is it safety? Do you have bike lanes? Can you walk down the street and feel safe? Can you go play at the playground and not be worried about getting killed or getting jumped or being harmed, kidnapped, whatever, molested, all that kind of stuff? Do you feel safe? Psychological safety is the number one thing we should be locked in on. Okay. We should be locked on psychological safety across the board. If folks do not feel psychologically safe, their internal being is in a constant state of fear, of fear. And that shows up in the form of anxiety, in the form of depression, in the form of PTSD, in the form of OCD, in the form of addiction, substance abuse, um, in the form of I'm blanking, but all different type of things. All different type of things. It shows up. Oh, it shows up in their mental state and their health outcomes. Like feeling psychologically safe is the thing we should be focused on. We got to lock in on that. That should be our North Star. Folks should be able to be safe, feel free to be who they were created to be, and have peace in every iteration of their life. No matter where they go, they should feel free and have peace. And if we don't have that world like that, which in a lot of places we don't, that should be our North Star. We should be aiming for that. Everyone should feel psychologically safe, no matter who you are and where you come from. And if folks don't feel psychologically safe, that is an issue. And that's not the world that God designed for us. God wants us to be free. God wants us to live with peace, with his peace and his freedom that he sent his son to die for. So we already have freedom. We just got to tap into that freedom. We got to realize that freedom. But because of all this stuff that be happening in this world, it's understandable why we don't feel psychologically safe and we don't feel free, because folks want to control and harm just for you being yourself. That's not what God intended for us. So more of us have to get a part of this fight. We have to stop looking for people to save us. We have one Savior, and he has given each of us the power and the freedom to step firmly into everything that he created for each of us to be. He created, yeah, he created each of us to be who he created. I don't know how I'm trying to say that, but he wants us to step into it, right? We have the power, we have the freedom to do that. And if everybody will step into our true being, the true essence of who we were created to be, that's how I want to say it. If we will all step into the true essence of who we were created to be, we would realize that we are unstoppable, we are unmovable, and stand firm, 10 toes down, steadfast, unshakable, unmovable on God's word and in God's power. It doesn't matter who's in a power position, whether it's the boss on your job, elected officials in your neighborhood at the county or state level or at the federal level, or folks around, or people in power around the world. Because if you add up the numbers of the people in elected official and powerful positions, that's a small number compared to all of the people that are not in power positions. And what I am constantly telling people in community when I'm speaking to them, whether it's patients or community members, I am always working in the space of empowering people, reminding people of their power, of their voice, of their freedom. You are not a victim, you are victorious. You have the power. You be your own advocate. You can stand up and step into these roles of power and speak on and lead on behalf of others who don't realize that they're free yet. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, because I come from these inner city streets of Cleveland. I come from a family growing up in poverty. I come from all the things that I've shared with y'all about family dynamics and being lower on the totem pole, lower socioeconomic status. And of course, the one thing that they always want to hold against us is the color of our skin. So I come from certain lived, learned experiences that will keep me on the outskirts of opportunities, but I am operating in the power and the freedom and in the knowing and the confidence that God has instilled in me and has gifted me with. But I'm no different than y'all. Y'all have it too. Just got to tap into it. And if more of us who know God steps into that power and lead forward and step into these roles of power, we can right size the ship and shift the whole trajectory of humankind. Because the way things are going now, it's harmful. It's sad. It's disturbing, and we can't sit silent. So I didn't get on here for this to be this, but you see where this is going, and this is how I am. This is how I show up in the world. But we can't sit silent. We can't silently sit by and just watch. Now you can, but if you do, you are contributing to the outcome. So we got to stand up. We got to stand up. We got to stand firm. We got to speak out. We have to be the advocates, right? We have to be the advocates, because or else we are allowing, and I'm not going to say we, cuz it ain't going to be me. I ain't going to allow it. Okay, this is one thing God gave me. I feel like I was born this way. Okay, I have spoken out against against hypocrisy and dysfunction and toxicity since I was a little girl, and it started with me speaking out against folks in my family that were like that. So I literally was born this way. Okay, I know I was born and built to do this, and God's been just helping me build my confidence along the way, and knowing that I am safe and I'm protected with Him. So more of us have to do that, because the power is with us. We don't have to sit back and wait for people to do it, because as we see, they're not. We have to do it for ourselves, in our neighborhoods, in our communities, in our schools, in our churches, in all the businesses in our built environment. So everything, if you step outside of your door, that's your built environment. What does that look like? Is it serving you, or is it stealing from you? Is it helping you, or is it hindering and harming you? If you are on the front end of that, then you're good. Keep doing good stuff, and then go help the next community that's next door to you that's not doing so great. But if you're on the latter end of those statements, then you be the person, and you gather and convene other people to be the folks that are going to take y'all power back and step into y'all freedom and y'all confidence and take y'all communities back. Y'all communities don't have to look the way it do. Y'all take it back. We're not hopeless. We have power. We have gifts. We have skill sets. We have assets. And it might not be at the level that these other folks have, but guess who have unlimited resources? I love saying this. This came to me like a week or two ago, like 2 weeks, because I said it on here. But guess who got unlimited resources and who got the most resources out of everybody? Out of the most wealthiest billionaire, guess who got the most resources? I wait. Do 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 do. God. God got the most resources, y'all. So there's no man, there's no king, there's no I mean, all them titles are titles. I have really come to this point in my world over the past 5 years, and I know that this is God's been revealing this to me because He's allowed me to get close to leaders because I've had a desire to be a leader for a very long time, and He's helped me to realize there are different type of leaders, and the leader I have created you to be is a servant leader, not these type of leaders. And He's allowed me to see the traditional leaders that get the recognition, that have all these titles, that are in it for themselves, self-serving, and not in it to take care of His children, the people, the community, and what the organization is actually designed to do. He's allowed me to see behind the wizard's curtain. And at one time, I was just ticked off by what I seen. And I have now come to the space and the point in my life where I now see, because I'm doing this because of alignment, I now see what God wanted me to see. And I'm seeing that, okay, this is what power can do to you if you don't wield that power in the right direction. And if you're not being led by God, if you're being led by your own self-interest and by profit. Servant leadership is what God sent His Son to show us. Jesus was a perfect example of servant leadership, and I talked about this before. So that right there is the kind of leader that I am. It's the kind of leader that I have always been, and I want to continue to be. I don't need a title to be a leader. You don't need a title to be a leader. You don't need a title to have power. You have power. You are a leader. A leader is a mindset. It's not a title. A leader is the behaviors that you display. It's not a title. It's not a salary. By the way, when God ordains it, all that stuff comes. So you don't have to chase power. You don't have to chase title. You don't have to chase salary. You don't have to chase acceptance, accolades, awards. And I can say that now confidently because I'm on the other side of it. But when I was going through it, oh, I was 38 hot when people was taking my ideas. These leaders was taking my ideas and get recognition for it. And God has been reminding me, because it still come up a little bit, but not as much, not this day and age, not as much. It tries to bubble up, and then I'm quickly reminded internally that it's not about recognition. It's not about me. It's about the movement. And the movement is about improving the health and well-being of the communities, improving the health state of the world, starting one community at a time, one community member at a time. So if it's not about me and it's about the movement, I don't care if you take the idea, because the idea was given to me to put out there. And if it's out there and it's being replicated, I'm doing good. Okay? I'm doing good. I mean, as long as the work get out there, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me, it's bigger than you, it's bigger than people in power and leadership positions with titles, with all the money. It's bigger. This is way bigger than our moment in time. Our moment in time has a great impact on what's gonna happen in the future. But life still goes on. And eventually at one point in time, we won't be here. I can say that now without getting scared and without crying. That's a major win. I've been saying wins all the time. I just haven't been celebrating it. That's a major win, club win, club win. Um, but yeah, it's not about you, me. It's not about titles. It's not about accolades. It's not about recognition. Now, we want to be recognized for the great things we do. Yes, we want to feel good about it. We want to be celebrated. We want to feel included. We want to be seen. Okay, that's normal. That's human. I get it. No judgment. But what I want more than anything, and I know this is like the traditional thing to say, but I now understand why they say it. I would rather hear well done, my child, from God. And I don't have to wait till I go to heaven to hear it. I know when I was growing up, that's what they used to say. But you don't have to wait till you go to heaven to hear it, because God affirms you right now in today's time. He affirms you in today's time. And you feel it on the inside when you're doing good golly work, when you're just taking care of people and you're looking out for people and you're pouring into people and you're supporting people, you're standing up for people, you're advocating, you're lifting your voice, you're pouring life into them, you're helping them break free, you're helping them to have peace. You see it, you feel it in today's time, in today's moment, in that act that you do, that selfless act to take care of God's children. That is God saying, well done. What you feel, what you receive, opportunities that open up and avail to you. Yeah, you just keep doing great godly work. Start where you are. You don't need a title to do great work. Because let me tell you something. I've seen this in my own world. I've seen and worked with many leaders who have the title, but they don't have the trust of the people that they oversee. And I have been in my regular role at a job, and I've had more influence over staff in my regular role, my staff and community and partners, than those who have a leadership title and a higher salary than me. The power is truly with each and every one of us. It's just how you're going to wield that power. Are you going to wield it for good or for evil? No in between. Are you helping or are you hurting and harming? So, what y'all gonna do? Because this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. Okay. And I'm linking arms with all the people that's trying to do great work to move this thing forward and help folks out and improve the health state of the world, one community member at a time. Okay. So this is what I've been doing, y'all. So I just wanted to share, like, my wins have been that I am free and I realize I'm free. Y'all free. Sometimes you just gotta realize it. And it starts with releasing, shedding those layers that don't belong to you, releasing what don't belong to you. These identities, these emotions, these experiences. That was for that moment in time. It was not meant for you to bring with you your entire life. So release it. Be free from it, y'all. Get healed. Go to therapy. Do that self-care. Me doing these little things, going on these little adventures, and and pushing through the discomfort, the uncertainty of being accepted or whatever, and if I'm gonna be safe, all of that are major wins. They're not small wins, those are major wins. The small win is me answering the text message. The small win is me saying yes when I could have said no and stayed on the couch and stayed in my present moment, my present state of feeling like I'm not included and I don't have friends and I don't have a village and I'm not experiencing this life, and I can just keep watching other people live their life on social media versus taking my power, my joy, and my freedom back and going to experience this season that I'm in, and these people who are reaching out and want to spend time and to explore and build relationships and have moments together. So I chose the latter. I chose to move past what happened to me and go forward and experiencing all the beautiful things in this new season and this new chapter that I will make happen for me, that I'm going to experience, the doors I'm going to go through. Listen, life keep going. The days keep, you realize that? The time keeps ticking by. The days keep going, going forward. If time waits for no one, why spend your time on this earth, your precious time on this earth, being stuck in your past and what happened to you? Now, again, it's easier said than done. It's work that you'll have to do to free yourself from it, but you're worthy of that work. So take time to take care of yourself. Take time to take care of yourself. And taking care of yourself is getting it off of you. Go get some therapy, go get some healing, learn who you are through God's eyes. And if you're not ready to open up that Bible, turn on these here YouTube videos. It's all type of folks on social media like I've experienced, so I can speak it from my experience, where folks are speaking that truth. And you want to do your due diligence and confirm that truth. But God speaks life into us, not death. So if people are speaking death into you, that doesn't align with God. You go with people who speak life into you. Okay? Speak life into yourself. Sometimes you need to turn something on YouTube or on socials that can speak life into you and to help you believe something in yourself, or pour that into yourself until you can believe it enough. It's a process. It is a process. Shedding what happened to you and shedding those identities that was put onto you and taking on the identity that God says about you, who God says I am, who God says you are. That's a process. Okay, that's a process. So I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I hope this was helpful. I know I've done other stuff, but because I didn't write it down, y'all, I haven't been writing down all of the things that I've been doing, my wins. I keep on having a thought to do it. I'm going to do it. I just don't be doing it. So, but I be recording it. I take videos and pictures. Oh, I'll post the videos I took. I have been doing my weekly at my job. I do these things called media and policy watches, where it's basically like an e-newsletter where I go and I research what's happening at the city, state, county, and federal level, and I gather all the resources that will help support our programs in our division and the work that they're doing, things that should be on their radar, things that can help. I already said that, but things that can help support them in the work that they're doing and the folks that they're serving in the community. And then I also keep an eye on pieces of legislation that are either being not promoted, being proposed, pieces of legislation that are being proposed, that are being enacted or being amended. And so I pay attention to what's happening that can impact the work that we're doing and the health equity and social justice division, and the work that is being done that can impact the state of the public's health as the policy analyst for the department in the city of Cleveland, but specifically the Cleveland Department of Public Health. So that's my job. And so I'm loving doing that because I'm just staying abreast of what's happening, and then I'm doing what I love. I love to learn new things. I love to understand what I didn't know before I learned it, and then I love to share that knowledge and that information and empower people to do what they do best. And so I'm in that space where it's like the best of both worlds. I just had a realization that's funny. That is what I like to do. I like to learn and I like to teach. I like to learn and I like to teach. So putting on folks' radar, I don't have to do everything. And I used to think that I had to do everything. But that was me learning early on in my professional career and being on the other side of having experienced burnout. You don't have to learn everything. At one point, I'm like, I got to go get this degree, then this degree, then this degree. No, babe, you don't. You don't. You just got to do what you can do with what you can do, right? What I can hold in my hand within my capacity. I don't need to do all the things. I just need to be able to gather the information, convene the people, share the information, and then we all deploy and we go out and do our great work with that information, with that insight. So I love that I love that for me, that I'm producing that, and I kind of feel like a journalist. That's what it feels like I am gathering the information and I am sharing the information, and I'm building. So I'm gonna be doing more of that. I'm gonna be creating policy briefs and all of that. And so I'm excited about that unfolding, because as you can see, I'm a great communicator, and I am a great writer, but because of what happened with my brain when I went through the traumatic events that I went through, things shifted in my brain. And so I lost some of my skill sets and my short term memory. And so sometimes my words, I have a hard time pulling it forward. And I lost my confidence with being able to speak clearly, concisely, and then also being able to create and write, because I'm a heck of a writer and I'm a heck of a speaker, but that shifted things in my brain. So I've been building and working on that and strengthening my skills and building my confidence. And I got to spend more time doing that. And this allows me to get my foot in the door in this space where I'm starting to actually do some of that, and it's just going to go up from here. And it does intimidate me a little bit because of what happened, and things have been restructured, but I'll just continue to build my confidence first and foremost by remembering what God says about me and having no fear, because that song came to my head again right there when I was speaking about what I was doubting myself with. So I'm grateful for the reminder. And then also outside of that, just like reps, the only way we get better at anything is by repetition, by exposing ourselves to what we don't know, not being afraid to learn or being embarrassed to ask questions and gain clarity, and then practicing, getting those reps in. Nobody just comes out the womb being an expert at anything. Nobody is an expert at anything without some type of trial. Like, right? You try things out, you practice repetitively, you adjust what's not working, and you keep what is working and build off of that experience, that wisdom, and that knowledge. And before you know it, you're considered the expert in this space, but you didn't start off as an expert. You started off as a student. And so the student can eventually become the teacher, and then eventually they can become a master at it, so much so that they're now teaching it back and raising up a whole group of other students. But we don't come out the womb knowing all the things. Nobody knows all the things. You know what I'm gonna say? Only God knows all the things. So I often have to tell myself and other people that. And that's how you push back past feeling insecure or not confident or having low self-esteem about your abilities. So push past that fear of going for things because you don't know. If you realize you have a desire to do something, but you don't go for it because you don't know how to do it, the only way you're going to know how to do it is if you go in that direction and start learning what you need to know to build your confidence, so that way you can do the thing that you have a desire to do. You just not fully equipped with the information yet. So all in all, I tell my staff, my kids, and my colleagues, the way you build your confidence is by building your competence. And I forgot who I heard that from, but I have been running with that. The more competent you become at anything, the more confident you become in your abilities at doing that thing. So celebrate that. And I'm celebrating myself. Celebrate myself. So that's a big thing. So all in all, because now I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. It's time for me to log off here. I hope as y'all watch it on the playback that this has been fruitful, a fruitful discussion. Well, basically, it's been me speaking to y'all, and I'm sure people have been busy. I have been off of my cadence of being on here every week. So folks are doing what they're doing. It's homecoming weekend, it's homecoming season. My daughter, she's going to homecoming tomorrow. So we've been getting ready for that. And I got quite a bit to do tomorrow. So I'm about to lay it down and rest because it's 9 o'clock. But I just want y'all to remember to believe in yourself. Don't let anyone or anything and their belief systems become your belief systems and determine your identity and what you will and won't do in this world. If it doesn't align with what God says about you, who God calls you to be, then it's all lies. It's all lies. And you need to release that and start walking in the direction of who God says you are. And if you don't know, spend time. Spend time with God. Spend time with God by spending time with yourself and shutting off all these things that tell you who you are, all these mediums of communication. Spend time and tap into what brings you joy and what drives you and go in that direction. And I promise you, the truth will reveal itself to you. All right. So continue to shed layers, heal, take care of yourself, find ways to love on yourself, speak life into yourself, find things that bring you joy, happiness, and some of that kid-like optimistic, and do your part in helping to improve the state of your built environment, your home, because it starts in our homes and then our environments, our school systems, and then our work environments and opportunities, right? So do your part in improving your corner of the world, your piece of this world. We all have the power, we all have the ability. We might not always have the capacity based on what we have going on in our life, but that's why it's important for us to prioritize taking care of ourselves. Because if we can, then we'll build our capacity at setting boundaries and not allowing anyone to run us into the ground, because we weren't put here to just work. We were put here to live this life and live this life to the fullest and enjoy this beautiful blessing. Um, Not just to clock in and out of somebody's um, job to serve their mission. What mission does God have for you over your life that's going to improve the health and well-being of the world? Just know, if it's serving you, just you, that ain't a God thing. If it's serving the health and well-being, the state of the world, and it's improving the state of the world, that aligns. That goes in the direction of what God desires for us. We were all put here to help one another. So you just figure out what that is. You spend time with God. It might not be health related like mine. It's just the lens that I operate out through, because that's the lens. That's my work in this world. That's my calling, to lock in on the health and well-being of folks. And that includes leaders. I'm often pouring into leaders and helping them see how they're either helping or hurting or hindering the work, and as a result, the people that they serve and that they are over. And that the organizations have a mission and are getting funding to help. So that's often the space that I occupy in this world, which is being the accountability partner. And sometimes I'm the accountability partner people don't ask for, but is what is needed in that season, in that space. Um, but I'm also someone that absolutely speaks life into the people. So I work on both ends. I work on helping people tap into, recognize and realize the power, the freedom, what's in their hands, and the confidence within to go for all the things that they have a desire for for their lives and what God has spoken over them. And then it's also working within these systems to be a part of right sizing these systems by being close to and having conversations with leaders. And so that can be draining and exhausting. So I thank God that I'm in this season and He's been sending people my way and opportunities to let my hair down and just have a good time and laugh and joke and be my authentic self, um, and not always be about work. One of my things, I'm gonna post it on here in some way, shape, or form, but I have this little calendar where every day it gives me a new positive, encouraging saying or phrase. And I think it was October 1st, and it said something along the lines of "Don't forget to play." I think that's exactly what it said. Don't forget to play. I think that was October 1st, if I'm not mistaken. I took a picture before I left work, and I said I was gonna post it because it was funny. I didn't pay attention to it when I flipped it to October 1st, and of course it's October 3rd, so I haven't flipped it in the past couple of days. But when I seen it today after I got back from playing volleyball, it literally said, "Don't forget to play," and I laughed and I smiled because it's like, well, I did that. I've been playing, I've been having a good time. So I've been handling the business at work. I've been handling the business with advocating and lifting the community's voice and speaking to leaders, folks in power, and helping the community members realize their power, making connections, just moving things forward in all these different ways. Oh, it's nice. I love it. But then closing out my week and going into my weekend with having some fun on my lunch break and not eating in my office and looking outside and having desire to be outside but not going outside. So that was like an answer prayer, and I'm loving this for me. I'm loving the season I'm in. I'm hoping you all, if you're not in that season, you get in that season because you deserve it. You're worth it. You're worth it. And you should spend the majority of your days in bliss and happiness and joy and in peace and in freedom. Okay? If it's not that, you don't want it. So it's been a blessing to see it unfolding this way. I'm excited of all that God has in store in the direction that I'm going in my life, in my professional career. Like I'm excited for it. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Just remember, have no fear. Have no fear. Have no fear. God got you. He doesn't give us a spirit of fear. He understands we might be fearful, but he works to help us realize that he's given us the gift of freedom and with his peace. So I pray for his peace over you, for you to step into your divine purpose and the freedom that he has gifted you with, and be confident in all the things that he has spoken over you and into you, and that he's leading and guiding you into all these spaces and places that God has for you to walk into is beautifully and brilliantly designed for you. So try not to be afraid. Try not to be afraid. Walk in that freedom, have his peace, rest at night, take care of yourself, put down the substances, put down all the substances. It doesn't matter. Put down the social medias, put down the substances, spend time with yourself, become one with yourself, and see what it is that he has for you to do at this time, in this earth, in this season, in this moment where it seems like all heck is breaking loose and it's chaos. God is the stillness. He is the peace in the midst of the storm. So see what it has for you, what he has placed in your hands to produce during this season. That is a gift to help in this season, to help right size the ship, to help the state of the world. What gift did he place in you, in your hand? And I know a lot of us is stressed. I know a lot of us is overwhelmed just with the day-to-day life stuff. But that's an indication that it might be time to break out of that, because God didn't create us just to be on this hamster wheel. He created us to be able to live prosperous, beautiful, free lives, and not to be in nobody's prison, whether it's in our mind or at a job. So if it ain't that, you don't want it. And you're worthy of that peace. You're worthy of that rest. You're worthy of a long, beautiful life with a high quality of health. So, okay, y'all, I'm gonna let this point go. I'm just doing what I do best, and that's speaking into y'all. Just loving on y'all. So have an amazing weekend. Have an amazing evening, amazing weekend. I'm about to put my feet up. I'm really tired. I'm really tired. I will see y'all on the next club win. I will try to be more than just every 2 weeks. I'll try to do every week. Every 2 weeks might happen if just things are busy. Or it might not be a traditional one. It might be like on the go with me. Like it was karaoke and conversations today, which is a civic engagement collaborative that's happening. And I was like, oh crap, I just told Club Win I would be on at 7, but I realistically could have went because it was only 11 minutes away, and did that for an hour, or I could have been there while they were doing karaoke and conversation live on Club Win as I was there doing that, and y'all could have seen me in real time doing the win, having a good time. And it would have been literally like a club scene. Literally, I didn't think about that until just now. I didn't have to choose either or, basically. I could have did both. I could have been there doing what, because I had a desire to go and I wanted to be there, but I already dedicated myself and said that I will be on here. But thinking about it now, I could have did both. So yeah, it'll be more events. And so sometimes y'all see me on the go. And we'll just have fun with it. So all right, I'm officially done. I'm officially done. I was about to say what my mom say. Her closing statement is, I love y'all with the love of the Lord. And I really do. But I just pray that each of you all move y'all life in a direction where y'all can be psychologically safe in every space and place that you occupy throughout your day to day and every iteration and season of your life. I hope you are psychologically safe. And if you're not, I hope you move in that direction of being psychologically safe. And as a result, I pray that you realize all that God has for you, and that is to live a life of freedom, of joy, of prosperity, and have His peace as you are navigating this world. So until next time, y'all, be well, live well out loud, unapologetically, because you deserve it and you're worthy. Until next time. Keep on doing this. I do it every time. It's two red buttons, and I always go for the red button that is right in front of my face. I need to end stream first before I exit the studio. Ciao. I'm tired. Okay. Bye for real. See y'all next week.